Hello there. This is Life After Trauma with Dr. Jan, helping you to take a stand and put an end to all the drama. Just think of me as your second mama. Hi, I am Dr. Jan, and my show is all about the trauma and the drama of domestic abuse. Did you know that domestic abuse is a dark and silent culture? Yes, yes, it is. And that is why people do not talk about domestic abuse. And yet, domestic abuse is pervasive, it is everywhere. I lived 42 years as a victim of domestic abuse, and I never told anyone about what was going on in my personal life, not even my own family. I remained silent all those years about the physical violence, the emotional and verbal abuse, and that toxic psychological mind game called gaslighting. I never said a word. But on my channel, Life After Trauma with Dr. Jan, we will talk about domestic abuse. Life After Trauma with Dr. Jan is my life story. It's all about how I found healing and how I recovered from all of those years of the trauma and drama of domestic abuse. And believe it or not, my life story has a happy ending. Surprisingly, it does. Not just once, but twice. And I'm still in my right mind, and I don't look like where I've been. And I give all that glory to God. As I reflect back and I move forward to help other victims heal and recover from the trauma and drama of domestic abuse, I want to just let you know what I went through and what I learned. Um, I don't have that kind of discernment. I didn't have the discernment that I needed in order to be able to naturally detect people. But what I've learned, I want to share, and I want you to be much better off than I was. But as I said, it had a happy ending. Today, we are going to ask the question. This is episode 6, and we're going to ask a question. Can you identify an abuser? Now, there are some people who can spot on right away, but there are others like me who don't have that perception. We intuitively think that people are good. Unfortunately, all people are not good. Some are out to make you a victim. And today we are going to talk about how to identify a toxic abuser. We are going to give you 3 warning signs or red flags. They're flying. We just need to notice what they are. But first, before we do, I want you to do me a favor. I need you to hit that subscribe button, and I want you to hit the like button. Help me grow this channel. Would you do that for me? Thank you so much. Well, let's get right to it. There are the 3 red flags, and red flag number 1 is the controller. The controller. Now, controllers look good at first. They look so attentive. They look like they're paying attention to you, which they are, but not in a positive way. And they seem to appear to want your best interest, but that is not the case. A controller can be a man, and it can be a woman. They come in both genders. It doesn't matter. So you have to be wary. And the reason why I said that is because we tend to think of domestic abusers as being male, men, but not always. Women can be abusive also. So this controller is often this controlling is often done in the name that I'm doing this for your good because I care so much about you. Don't take that. Uh, and at first, if you're not used to this attention, you may be confused and you might begin to think that this person is for you, especially if you have poor self worth concept. Your self esteem is not as high as it should be. And we'll talk about that later on down the road. But in time, you will begin to see that this relationship is shaped by dominance and subservience. The controller wants to dominate and control everything that you do, and you are more or less submissive. You kind of let things go. Don't do that. Be aware. Keep your antlers, your radar sharp and open. Controllers like to monitor and dictate how you do everything. They will monitor how you spend your time. They want you to spend it all with them. They will monitor how you spend your money. And it's your money, but they want to dictate how you spend it, what you should do with it, and make you feel guilty when you don't follow their advice. Controllers control, they dictate, and they monitor what you wear, what you do. They're all over you, uh, dictating and telling you that what you're doing is not as good as what you would do if you would follow their advice. Now, controllers have a way of intruding into your personal affairs, your matters. They may even go so far as to take your cell phone and look through your phone directory. They may even want to look through your bank statements. This controller wants to control all aspects of your life. And when you begin to catch on to what they're doing and you back off and you reject some of the things, then they get angry and they make you feel guilty, if you will. But remember, a controller wants to control all aspects of the relationship. With them, control is power, and that's what they're aiming for. So, if you find yourself in this kind of situation, then back out. Make sure you back out as early as you can because controlling issues will always be a problem. And to be in a relationship that is based on control, it's not healthy. It's not nourishing. And sooner or later, you are going to get the short end of the stick. So, those are some indicators of a controller. Uh, One indication is you'll know you don't feel free to do what you want to do. You always are aiming to please the other person. That's not. You deserve to be pleased too. So, number one, the first red flag is the controller. The second red flag we're going to discuss today is the physical violence abuser. Now, this one should be, I mean, so noticeable because it's so outlandish, but it doesn't start out that way. Physical violence starts off in a playful, carefree manner, which kind of throws you off. But you might say, well, what are you talking about, Dr. Jan? What is physical violence? Um, that abuser. I'm so glad you asked. Physical abuse is an intensive and deliberate act causing you injury or trauma or bodily harm. It hurts when you're wrestling or you're playing and you are always the one getting hurt. Ouch, ouch, ooh, ooh. That's physical violence. That's intentional. Well, what are some examples of physical abuse or violence? Well, here is a list. And I think that they should be quite obvious, excuse me. Hitting, slapping, punching, scratching, biting, burning, choking, pulling of the hair, spitting, pushing, throwing objects, punching walls or breaking things, locking someone in a room, preventing someone to move about freely. Any of these or all of these actions against you is a red flag. It is physical violence. Remove yourself from the relationship. And believe me, no matter how many times they apologize and beg you to forgive them because it will never happen again, yes, it will. Not only will it happen again, but it will become increasingly worse, increasingly deeper and more abusive. So free yourself in the early stages because once you really get involved, it gets very hard to remove yourself from someone who is physically violent. They have tempers. They're hard to please, and that's when the violence comes out. So that's red flag number two. Red flag number one was the controller. Red flag number two is the physical abuse, the violent abuser. And red flag number three is jealousy. Now, jealousy is a tricky one because you may feel that your partner is jealous of you because he or she loves you. And of course, when you love someone, you would be jealous of them. No, not so. Not so. Don't be fooled. The jealous abuser is not in love with you. Jealousy has nothing to do with love, believe it or not. Jealousy is a sign of possessiveness and a lack of trust. And because this jealous person does not trust you, they will always be intrusive of you, and they're like an FBI, someone who's always trying to trap you, to find you doing something that you probably had no indication of doing. This jealous person will begin to accuse you of doing things that you haven't done, but they will almost drive you to doing it. For example, they will accuse you of having an affair with someone else. They will accuse you of flirting. If you are in a group and you happen to talk to someone, um, they're very suspicious. They will even be jealous of the time that you spend with your family, with your own children, with your friends. They want all of you. And this is not healthy. This is not normal. So if you detect jealousy in this person, excessive jealousy, then that is an indicator. That is a red flag. And you need to back out of that relationship as quickly as you can because a jealous person a partner can be very, very dangerous. So as jealousy progresses, he or she may begin to call you frequently, drop in unexpectedly, and check the mileage of your car to see if you've gone somewhere, even have your friend or to watch you and report back to them. Dangerous, dangerous red flags. Remove yourself. Now, those are just three red flags that we talked about today. There are many, many, many more toxic abuser indicators that we can become aware of and save ourselves some trauma and drama by not getting involved in the first place. But I hope that you learned something today that made you aware and that the antennas are going up because you are seeing these indicators and they're warning signs. So before we leave, however, I want you to check out my website. I do have a website, and it's called the address is www. Jan Norberg, jnbministries.org. That's www.jnbministries.org. And it's listed below. And in my website, I have some things that I offer. There is an ebook, a book, my memoir, all about my life, all the crazy things I went through, and how God has carried me through all of these years, 85 years, and I'm still here, still in my right mind, and much, much more aware, much more wise. You might want to read this book. It's very simple, very easy to read. It is an ebook. And also on my website, I have a digital curriculum entitled Seven Power Keys: How to Heal and Recover from the Trauma and Drama of Domestic Abuse. And this is what I use in order to move from misery to ministry and how to improve. So I spell out in this digital curriculum the specific keys and strategies that help me to heal and recover. And so, until the next time when I post a video on Fridays, sometime between 11 and 12 o'clock noon, I'll see you. Remember to subscribe and like. I appreciate you. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.